May the Force be with you, and welcome to another episode, guys, of the Lunch Table Podcast. We are here to review The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 2, now out on Disney+. What an exciting episode. They expanded so much on the lore. I love this episode, but Akram, let me get your thoughts.
My goodness, yeah, this episode, I gave it like kind of a piss poor review last time. This episode I really loved. There was so much that happened, so much exploration too, and I think people are going to be really excited from what they will see at the end of the episode, but let's get into it.
Yeah, I was surprised because IGN actually gave this episode like a 5 out of 10.
Damn.
It does feel kind of like a filler episode, but there is a lot, for the Star Wars fans especially, there's a lot of details that they've thrown in this episode. So it's very lore heavy, but I like that. I like that, they're kind of expanding on the Mandalorian culture, right? We've seen it in seasons 1 and 2, but now they're going deep into Mandalore, the planet itself, right? The home of the Mandalorians. So yeah, let me get your thoughts on the episode.
Yeah, so he did exactly what he said he was going to do, and I appreciate that. And they finally went into Mandalore, and it was really a sight to see. I think the CGI was great here too. Everything was just like this jaded, glassy surface. But before that, we get to see him go back to Tatooine, and we see a droid that was featured in A New Hope. What is that droid called?
R5, I believe.
R5, yeah, R5 was cute. I figured, because here's the thing too, I was like, that droid doesn't fit or some shit he was saying to her. And I was like, well, what about IG? What are you going to do with his ass? Is he going to be like in a trunk or something? And now I just remember, how are you going to fit this little, like the dome thing for Grogu? I was like, oh my God.
I'm surprised they didn't take like IG's head and did like a fucking like a Han Solo thing where like he was like the Nava computer. I'm surprised they didn't use that. You didn't need the body. All you need is the head with the, the computer brain in it.
That's a good idea.
But I guess they wanted to showcase, bits of the original trilogy. So we do get to see R5, and we didn't get much of him in the original trilogy. So it's great to see him. And it's so funny because like he's such a scary cat, and it's just a callback to when Luke said, "This guy's got a bad motivator."
yeah, exactly.
But I know, kind of like the Grogu was in the little pod. It was such a cute little space for him. But now they got another sidekick to the Mando family, right? And it's so funny seeing like Pelimato like working with the Jawas, like scamming people.
Yeah, I know.
Damn, they're really hustling there. Shit.
Hey, it's Tatooine. You gotta do what you gotta do.
And on Boot to Eve too. That was cool that they mentioned that.
Yeah, that was really cool. And it was great cinematography too, especially when they were in the air and you saw like the fireworks and stuff in the reflection. It was really beautiful to see.
I wish we'd seen more of pod racing too, like on Tatooine.
Yeah, that would be cool. They could make a mini series, I think, in the future. That would be kind of, or like an animated thing or whatever. I think that would be cool. They kind of did that with another animated show back in the day. I think it was called Star Wars Resistance or something. But yeah, so then when we get straight to action, there's some stuff that happens in the episode, a lot of action set pieces. And then we also get a little bit of Bo-Katan, which is great to see. She really came in clutch, I think, in this episode as well. So the whole thing was really scary too. It was actually pretty scary this episode. Yeah.
There was like some very tense moments, and when we get to explore Mandalore, the trailers didn't do justice. We saw bits of it in the trailer, but man, they really like went in depth into Mandalore, and I love how they explore it. And especially for like people, I say, that haven't watched the Clone Wars and don't really know what went on with Mandalore. I think this is a great episode showcasing it in live action, right? Because we get to see the history of it, right? We've seen it in the Clone Wars. We've seen mentions of it in the comics and legends. But here it's like, the final days of Mandalore, like explored. And I think Bo-Katan really fleshes out those kind of like historical details.
Yeah, I love the commentary she gives, especially to Grogu a little bit later on. And I just love how fleshed out the ruins are. I feel like there's a lot that you could do there or explore there. It looks highly detailed, and I just loved everything about it. It felt like such a huge episode, and it's so funny, especially for TV. But that's what you would expect with The Mandalorian.
Yeah. Well, going further into episode, I won't give too many details, but Mando is in peril, and then Bo-Katan has to rescue him. And then they eventually come across a certain mythological creature, which I won't spoil, but I'm sure a lot of people can guess what it is. But
Oh my
I
God.
have some theories. I have some theories which I'll discuss in the spoiler review. But I think this is gonna be Bo-Katan's redemption arc.
Oh, I agree. Well, what would you rate this episode?
This episode gets a 8 out of 10 for me. I think it didn't give too much, but it gave a lot at the same time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I give this episode a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed this episode from the last one. I really did. But yeah, that is our review. Why don't you take us away?
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and be sure to check out our in-depth spoiler discussion review. And yeah, check out our other playlists as well. We're still covering The Last of Us. We have one more episode left. We're covering Hello Tomorrow. Tomorrow I think we are doing You season 4 part 2. I don't even know which. I can't even say it. It's such a big mouthful. Yeah. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor, as well as YouTube. And thank you so much. And until then, this is the way.
This is the way. See you guys.